Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to AWE Nite SF. We are going to get started in just a moment here. I like to watch the little active attendees, number and watch it go up. And then as soon as I feel like it's just kind of we've hit our maximum capacity, then we'll kick things off. But let's just give it another minute or two for people to log in, get their bearings, figure it all out, and then we will dive in. Okay. So just for those who are just joining right now, I'd love for us to kind of try out the live chat. Hey, Kunal, Nathan, West Coast representing. Glad you could make it. Hello, Michael. All right. If there's some other folks out there, if you want to give your the chat a try, basically you're just going to click that little live chat button to the right there. It's going to expand out. Yes, I agree, Michael. We've got Kurt. Hey, Ori's here. Hello, Ori. Vancouver. And of course, San Francisco. I love that it's now that we've been going online, it's like 50%, 75% of the people from all around the world joining the AWSF night. I mean, is it even SF anymore? I mean, I don't know, but we're still representing the Bay Area. All right. Well, I think we're just going to go ahead and get started. We'll let people continue to trickle in. But Finland, thanks for staying up late. All right. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay. Let me go back to the beginning here. All right. So, welcome everybody to AWE Nite SF. This is on AWE Live now. We're obviously not in the Bay Area. We're not in the Microsoft Reactor where we usually, host the event. But what's great about AWE Nite SF is, as you can see in the chat.
So, sorry, Pat.
People,
we cannot see your presentation.
Oh yeah, let me give it one more try.
Yeah.
So, window, share. Any luck?
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you.
Sweet. Cool. So yeah, we're here from around the world, and we are very excited today to be focusing on Lenovo and the ThinkReality platform. So this is going to be a deep dive into the A3 glasses, which are new and hitting the market, and we're going to then be doing some demos with Preston, who's CTO of Rock Paper Reality, showing the A3, and then followed by a deep dive into the platform. But before we get started, let's go through some housekeeping. So AWE nights have grown exponentially. So I think there's over 30 AWE nights from around the world now. I've seen a number of different cities come in there. Finland, we've got a Helsinki for you. I think, do we have a Portland? You might. Vancouver, there you got your Vancouver one. So by all means, I think one of the thing that's really important about this is now that we are online, it's still about the community, it's about immersive, and it's about meeting people. So I really do recommend that you all stay engaged in the chat, talk to people, network, because this is about the community at the end of the day. So get involved in your chapters, support. There's always, need for volunteers. and spread the good word. So, AWE, for those who might just be joining for the first time, is more than just the AWE nights. It's all about the shows as well. So we've got in October, if you haven't got your tickets, if you're going to be in Europe, I highly recommend going to Lisbon and checking out AWE EU on October 20th and 21st. I plan on being there. It's going to be a great show, and it's in an amazing location. We've also got like, AWE Asia. That will be, just happened. And I believe it's still going on next year. We don't have the dates in yet, but AWE USA, obviously that is where it all started. And I think the tickets are on sale online. So please go, get involved with AWE USA and make sure to attend the event. And then for any of the events, you can use this code, take a screenshot, write it down, 22 AWE Nite SD, which I think we should be at SF, but that code will work for your 20% off rate all the same. So obviously, if you're on the platform, you're familiar with AWE Live. This is the new hub for all the awesome online content that is happening around AWE virtually at the moment. So other events coming up is we've got the AR show with John Rodriguez. We've got the Metaverse networking show. And we've got a really cool event coming up with Charlie Fink and Ted Schulowitz around the XR podcasts. And then they're doing some behind the scenes of Washington, diving into the policy around the metaverse. AWE also does, they have AWE Academy and does events for, learning. We teach a class called WebAR. It's a WebAR workshop, all focused on WebAR. And, that actually will be going up online in very soon. So keep an eye out for that. There's also an AWE Academy around HoloLens and mixed reality, and then fundraising. If you are a startup, I do recommend taking that course as well. And then last thing is, we are always trying to spread the word. So, please, AWE Nite SF, like hashtag us, post it on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and try to get other people to join. Like I said, this is a community. We all depend on each other, and spreading the good word is something I depend on you on. So please help share the great stuff we're doing here. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing here. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Geraldine to go ahead and kick things off. Yeah, Geraldine's going to be diving into the A3. And go ahead and take it away, Geraldine.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Patrick. Hope everyone can hear me okay. I'm going to be sharing my screen, so just one second. Okay. Alrighty.
You're muted.
There we go. Okay, for some reason I got muted. Let me try this one more time. I think we got it now. Alrighty. Great. So my name is Geraldine Gamboa. I am a Lenovo business development manager that is focused on all things ARVR. So very excited to be here with you all today and talk a little bit about the A3. So to start us off, for anybody that might not be familiar with the A3, here's just kind of a quick product overview. So this is Lenovo's AR device that we launched kind of late last year. It is a 6-DOF device. As you can see here, it's has a couple of different features from cameras, uh, microphones, removable frames. So, with this device, what we really wanted was something immersive but not isolating, something that would allow end users to really um, have a customized fit, right? As you can see at the upper right-hand corner, there's a couple of different options for the frame along with the nose piece and temple end. So really um, giving end users a comfortable fit, something that's a bit more customizable to them. Also, looking at something that's portable and folding. I think, when we look at end users adopting this technology, it's important for it to be, lightweight, to be able to take it on the go, to not be so cumbersome, right? So very excited, to share the A3 with our customers and really, just show off some of the neat specs that we have for this device. So as I mentioned, there is going to be kind of two different frames that come with it, mainly being for the two different flavors that we have, as I like to call it. So one is going to be the A3 Industrial Edition, which will be tethered to the Motorola phone. Motorola being a part of Lenovo, we really wanted to take advantage of the compute capabilities that you get through the Motorola phone, and then also the A3 PC Edition, which will tether to a Lenovo workstation or laptop. So as we're looking at these two different flavors, some of the use cases that we're seeing for these devices, virtual monitors, up some sort of monitor extension from being connected to the laptop, and then with the Motorola phone, having that remote assist, guided workflow, those types of use cases. And we'll touch a little bit more on those shortly. So as you can see here, some of the common requirements being lightweight, portable, easy to wear, and as we mentioned, immersive, but not isolating. So with the A3 PC edition, you get up to 5 virtual monitors, and that is just depending on the configuration that you have on your laptop. Um, the virtual display manager, which is available on our ThinkReality support site, is going to be the software that is used to project those monitors through the glasses. So, some of the key end users or use cases that we're seeing for this type of con- um, flavor of the A3 are going to be road warriors, people working from home, people maybe in an open office. I've also had, just from having customer conversations, some individuals that are, looking for something, if they're at a site and they need just a quick connection or quick additional monitors while they're on the go in between meetings or at a remote site. This is a really great option for them. Um, as we're also looking at the A3 PC edition, we've actually partnered with TechViz to bring 3D modeling capabilities. So, some of the key features or key capabilities that we want to highlight are, working, with existing content, not having to create new content to be able to function with this software, and then also works with three large 3D models without any sort of need of simplification. So being connected to a mobile workstation is great. Having this capability for 3D modeling kind of enhances that capability as well. So when we're looking at the A3 Industrial Edition, I think this is kind of the one that might be most popular with some of our customers, especially being tethered to a Motorola phone. Some of the key benefits that we're seeing with this particular flavor is, that cellular connectivity, not necessarily relying on Wi-Fi or, having that connectivity, having that on-screen touchscreen keyboard is pretty key, especially when you might be putting in long passwords or having to log in into certain applications. That's definitely going to be super helpful. And then also, having that companion app for uh, kind of like quick settings, being able to make adjustments as needed. So with the Motorola phone, the really cool thing that I think about this particular flavor is, typically we see, cell phones update or upgrade pretty consistently. So being able to not necessarily have to update the glasses, but just updating the phone to really have some of those key features and functionality is pretty cool, right? So we started out with the Motorola G100. This past April-May timeframe, I believe, we launched the Motorola Edge Plus. So both are still, compatible with the A3 glasses, but you get those upgrades kind of as you go. All right. So, some of the use cases that we're seeing with this remote expert is going to be pretty key. I think that's the number one use case that I've seen with a lot of my customers, ranging from automotive, healthcare, um, even some of the consulting firms that are out there. That's kind of a pretty key one. Guided workflow, is right behind it as well. Pretty popular. Biggest thing, with customers, wanting to really create their content and get that going. So pretty exciting there. And then visualization with 3D models as well. All right. So just, one other thing that I wanted to mention, and that you all might have seen, we've partnered with Qualcomm and the Snapdragon Spaces program to have the A3 be the flagship device for this program. So we're very excited um, about this partnership, and then also, seeing the A3, being used of across the developer community. We're excited about that, and we'll continue to partner and work together to really bring some of these really cool features and functionality that I think we're all excited to see, such as hand tracking, gesture, and object recognition. So definitely stay tuned for that. And I believe that is it. So I will pass it off to Patrick.
There we go. I knew I'd get off of mute eventually. Thank you so much, Geraldine. That was great. Really awesome to see the snapshot of the A3 and all the great features that are baked into it. There hasn't been a ton of questions, but if anybody wants to ask any questions, now's a good time to put it into the chat. Let's see. So when asked, great question, what is the projected price point and availability?
So current availability for the A3, like I mentioned, we launched it late last year. So current availability it's available globally. As far as price point goes, I believe list price, and don't hold me to this, is 4,100. I want to say, for the industrial edition. Don't hold me to that. Definitely reach out to me or any of our BDMs, and we can definitely help give a bit more information on that.
And if they did want to find a place to go and purchase it, where would be a good place to go?
Yeah. So I believe Lenovo.com offers just the A3 glasses. And some of our Lenovo business partners also have those available in stock. But like I said, feel free to reach out to me or any of my counterparts globally, and we can definitely help with that.
Awesome. Setu, I think if I'm pronouncing your name right, is asking if you could talk about the visualization use case. He is a data scientist and wants to understand how he might be able to use the device.
Yeah. So are we, sorry, I'm just trying to look through the comment section. I'm assuming we're talking a little bit more on the
Like,
PC edition or industrial edition.
yeah, I guess just like in terms of just using the device for kind of data visualization, for 3D
Yeah.
visualization, like how, is there anything you could add to like maybe are there examples of it being used for visualization for data or 3D, or how might that integration work?
Yeah, so on the PC edition, as I mentioned, TechViz is kind of the middleware in this particular scenario. So any sort of CAD software that you might have that's compatible, and I know there's a full list of that available, I think on their website, and we should also have that as well. But that would kind of be how it's done. Happy to do any sort of demo with you and kind of talk offline as well to get more information.
Cool.
Yeah.
And we got Sam Sprigg, and he's asking about the Qualcomm collaboration. He's interested in how much of their reference design guided the design of the end product of the A3.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I believe that might be a little bit above my pay grade. Um, so not 100% sure. I know the design itself of the product was in the works a few years back. So we launched in 2021. So I believe that all kind of happened before the Qualcomm partnership or collaboration came about.
Awesome. I guess like in terms of just like if you could talk a little bit, Kanal is asking about the SDK, and from what I understand from the question is like, understanding the control and access for data from the sensor or SLAM. So like, do you know what is available or exposed for developers to be able to use for content creation in terms of sensors?
I'm not 100% sure. I believe Phillip might know a little bit more. I know he's going to talk
Okay,
on the platform, so he might have a bit more information on that one.
awesome. Great. I'm just gonna shoot off a couple quick ones. Field of view. Did you mention the field of view of the glasses?
I did not. I think I have it in here. Um, I am blanking. I don't see it um, on my slide, but field of view. I want to say it's. Oh, I'm probably gonna get this wrong. Don't hold me to it. I want to say 30.
I think
Yeah,
you're right.
I want to say it's 30.
Cool. And
47. Thank you,
then
Matney.
47. There we
47.
go.
Was off a
Okay,
little bit.
perfect. Awesome. And then last question I have is in terms of the brightness. Is it work outdoors or outdoors, indoors just as well? Is it sunlight readable?
Yeah, so lighting is going to differ. It might impact, visibility depending on, where you're at. The really cool thing about the A3 is we have two different frames. So one is going to be an industrial frame, which will kind of resemble safety glasses, and that'll be a bit more, that'll be lighter, right, to give you a bit more visibility when you're outdoors, making sure that you're not completely immersed. But then on the PC edition, those frames will be darker, right, to give you a better
Hmm,
contrast to be able to see those monitors. So a couple of different options there. But yeah, being outdoors, you should be able to be able to see pretty well.
perfect. Well, I want to thank you again for coming on the show, spending your time with us today, talking about the A3. It's super exciting product. And yeah, I guess if you're around at all, maybe there are other questions that pop into the chat, but it sounds like yeah, I think that was all the questions for now. But thanks again for coming out today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I'll see you, Geraldine. All right, so up next is not only my co-founder at Rock Paper Reality, but good friend Preston Platt, to talk about an experience that we developed using the A3 and Snapdragon Spaces for the San Diego Padres. Experience was a ton of fun. Preston's going to get into all the weeds with you. So welcome, Preston, for a live demo of the San Diego Padres experience. So
yeah, can you guys hear me? Am I live?
Loud and clear.
Awesome. Thank you, Patrick. Yeah, as Pat said, we're going to do a live demo. So this could go terribly, or we could have a lot of fun with it. Who knows, right? To start things off, speaking to the A3 development, right? If we have questions fielded for that, and specifically around, Qualcomm Snapdragon Spaces, I'd love to field those questions as well, since we got in there in the weeds for what was capable and what wasn't. Like I said, fully live demo. I'm going to be casting from my phone, and then we're going to have someone with an A3 device on our network here running the multiplayer game with us. But to start things, just in case this all goes terribly wrong, I'm going to show a video. And so I'm going to try presenting my screen. Maybe in the chat, if we can get like a, hey, we're seeing it, or hey, we're not, that would be awesome. Are we getting it? I see it on my screen. I think I'm going to run with that's a yes. Yes, maybe. Yep, there we go. Okay, cool. So here's the experience. We did a multi-user experience running with the glasses. So that means that we have two pairs of glasses and we have two phones all running on the same multiplayer network together. So what's really cool about this is that 4 people can jump into a game at the Padres Stadium itself and have an experiential adventure together. So right here, you're seeing them pick their balls that they're going to use. We do a little bit of target practice, which you're going to see here in a minute. But then the whole thing opens up and you have a bunch of fun. But yeah, maybe I'll leave that as a little teaser, but you can see everybody's throwing the balls from their direction, which is super fun. And seeing everybody throw them together is really cool on device, right? So here, let's set it up. Let's go for it. I'm going to run into the other room, but I'm going to try casting here. I'm going to see if we've got that running correctly. Second. Okay, so I'm going to start this off. I'm going to cast. Oh, okay, hold on. So I think we should be seeing my screen. I'm going to put this down just so I know real fast. Yeah, it looks like we are. And come on if we aren't, but I'm just going to run with it as we are running. So here we go. We've got the experience up and running. I have Carly here, my lovely assistant, to run through the live demo. So Carly, throw on the headset. Cool. And then so what Carly's going to do is she's actually going to localize to this target. So normally this would be in the actual experience itself. What she's actually doing is she's localizing both of us onto the same situation. So we're using an image target to do that. It's a little bit tough because normally this is in stadium. So us getting our localization is going to maybe take a few seconds. Hopefully not. How are we doing? Getting close, maybe closer. We also have light in here, which makes things a little tough. Oh. Maybe try a little bit closer. Maybe down a little bit more. Live demo things, love it. Yeah, try going closer. Yeah, just try going real close. Screw it. Try going real close. Just walk up to it. Maybe do the seating position like we did before, and be careful with that. Yeah. And if this doesn't just kick off, I'm just going to show the demo live anyway. Try going real close. Yeah. See if that does it. All right. Well, I might just call it on that. Okay, well, I think we're just gonna go for it. All right. Anyway, so I'm the host, so basically what I do is I just start the game. I say I've got it. What happens is a baseball pops down, usually with 2 players, 2 baseballs will pop down. Here, Carly, why don't you get up and just kind of pretend we're playing. It's kind of nice with the cutoff of the with the field of view. But yeah, so basically a bunch of baseballs will come up like this. It allows us to kind of select whatever baseball we see fit. We've kind of designated the Padres logos for the player that you're going to be selecting. So here I'm going to go with orange. Just going to do a little bit of target practice. And then we see as it opens up into this giant kind of open space. And then you'll see a little HUD pop up, which is kind of nice so you can talk to people and see how much they're scoring. All right. So we added a bunch of really fun effects too, like we added a bunch of fireworks. We added this really cool, let's see if I can get it, come on. We had some cool jets that fly over. But yeah, so you basically play against each other to see who can score the most points. It gets really competitive. At the stadium, I've seen families ruined because of this game. But yeah, it's just a really good time. Let's see how many I can get. Let's see if I can get myself a high score here. And as the maker of the game, this is quite easy for me, but it can get quite challenging. Cool. It closes up, and then we have our winner, 35 points. So yeah, that's essentially it. And then what I'm going to try to do is unshare my screen, and hopefully that brings me back up. Am I back in live? All right, so a little bit of a fail. Tried to live demo it. We got there. Pat, are you going to jump back in to field some questions, or should we kind of keep diving into some of the A3 features?
Let's do it.
Sweet.
Okay.
Good old live demo. So close. So close.
I mean, you got it running. I mean, there's definitely demos that have went worse than that. So I wouldn't beat yourself up over it. It was great. It got it working. You know, and the thing is, it's made totally, yeah. It's made for the in-stadium experience. You know, not your penthouse living room. So
there you go.
Great. So let's see. What do we got? We got some questions. What is the main use case for the shared spaces integration? Is it just to share the scores? Well,
oh yeah, so not at all, right? So basically what you're doing, and I mean, I can go back to sharing my screen for a second. Do you mind if we show? Yeah. So what's cool about the shared space, right, is that what you're seeing is that everybody's throwing the balls from their perspective and they're actually playing together in the space. So it's actually a full-blown multiplayer game. So the idea is that you can talk smack with your friends, you can throw, you can compete. But the main thing is to kind of bring families together in this digital landscape of a gamification element, right? I think that pretty much.
Yeah,
answers
that's
that.
definitely it. And I think, yeah, Canal followed it up with just like, are you able to see the visual effects in a shared space? Can you see the players throwing the balls? And yeah, I think.
Yeah, and so we did quite a bit of work using the A3 device, using Qualcomm spaces, Snapdragon spaces, to make sure that we get that shared environment all the same. And what's really fun too is like, obviously there's shared anchors, things like that you can do, but utilizing the space with one TV. And as you can see, like finding the target when it's my very bright room trying to display on a really dim TV, it's very hard to pick that target up in that environment. But what we did is we actually put that target in the space where it's like kind of dim in there, and it always picks it up, which is really nice. But yeah. But overall, for the spaces itself, right, and getting into the A3 device plus Snapdragon spaces is when you're using and developing, like with AR Foundation, for instance, right? The integration of your AR Foundation projects and things like that are actually incredibly easy.
Awesome. And I just having been close to this, I know there were a million small choices that were made for both just making this a location-based experience. It's something that was accessible to everybody who came up. Obviously, most of these people hadn't used augmented reality before, never put on a head-worn device before, had no clue what they were doing, but they needed to be able to kind of understand, the game mechanics, the technology, immediately. And then obviously the game is what are some of the techniques that you use to make this accessible, make it exciting and fun, and ultimately create some competition?
Yeah. So the biggest thing was the accessibility factor, right? So when at the Padres Stadium, we're getting anybody from ages 85 to ages about 5 or 6, right? So the idea was we've got a long, broad range of people that are going to be using this device, not only that have never put a headset on in their life, but have never really done AR gaming at all, or don't even understand the concept of gaming. So one of the main choices, right, was to take advantage of just simply the tracking services. So where my head position is, right, using that as the main interactive feature. And then also making the interaction itself incredibly easy. So by just one button push, right, on the center of that controller, you are throwing the ball at that point. Now, obviously, we talked about doing swipe for thrust. We talked about all these other crazy things. But ultimately, making it simple was what made it successful. And then obviously all the little surprise and delight moments like the jets going over and things like that.
Well, it's the Blue Angels. It's the San Diego Jets,
There you go. But yeah, I mean, one of the things I will say to anybody listening that is a developer is that I was assuming with the Qualcomm spaces and with everything going on, the headset, everything, that I'd have to really kind of limit myself from a technical perspective. And I was able to push that device very, very hard and far and get 4 multiplayer situations running easily, right? So I think that's a testament to the device itself and the processing power on the device, right? So I think that's really important to note.
Awesome. And Michael wants to know, how long did it take to develop, and how long has it been running at the stadium?
Yeah, so I mean, the development process was a bit of a whirlwind. I mean, from start to finish, right? These projects can take months and months, but I'd say process for development inside of specifically the development, not the art and creative, right? Maybe a month or 2 with a good team.
And it's been at the stadium live for how long now?
I think it's been live for about a month and a half, I'd say.
Nice.
Yeah. And we've had many, many learnings of in-situation experiences like this and how to handle multiple devices, multiple things going on at the same time.
Yeah. And was there, like from a head-worn perspective, like I think you were talking about like the input methods and then the controller and stuff. You want to just talk a little bit more about just kind of like how you used both the Motorola device and the A3 to be able to kind of control that experience for the user?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, right, it's using the simplicity of the phone itself as the controller as a one-button click event. And what was really nice about that as well is that these, when you're in a situation, you have to have all these crazy things so people can't steal the phone, steal the glasses, steal anything, right? You have to kind of have all these security measures in place. And that was another really nice thing. We could have this displayed up on security tags and just be a button pushable event that we can just look around and interact with. And then obviously, as you saw, we tried to mix a lot of like augmented reality moments that were like the platforms coming up to the ground with the kind of mixed reality VR type moments where it opens up the wall around you and pushes the space very deep. Another thing is that we noticed is that we could get like around 40, 50 feet and still have a perception of depth with the device, which was really surprising to me.
Nice. And battery life, how is that kind of being managed? Yeah. Megan wants to know.
There's two ways we kind of handle the battery situation. I think one of the nice things is that the Motorola device charges insanely fast, which is really, really nice. But also we did some tricks where the home screen itself isn't looking for an image target, isn't doing any of the tracking whatsoever. We stripped all those components out. When you're ready to play the game, it then triggers all these services on that can be a little bit more, aggressive on the battery. And I think it's important to remember things like that, right? Don't expect your device to have all the cameras on, running all the SLAM in the world for hours and hours and hours and hours, right? With no purpose. Use it as its purpose, right? Put other scenes in place, put other things in place that will save the battery life, charge down the device, and then re-kick it back on.
Nice. And I guess one more question before we pass it over to Phillip. Could you provide some this is from Kanal. Could you provide some insight? It just went up on me. Insight into how much focus was required for development on mobile phones versus the A3. Were there any significant device-specific changes required? Any efforts required for general AR integration? Or was general AR library practices ready out of the box?
Yeah, that was the really crazy part, is that with Qualcomm Space's integration into the A3 device, the way we did it, it was almost plug and play, like how I would prepare a scene for a normal phone mobile device augmented reality setup, right? That was mind-blowing to me. Really helped the development process, really helped the testing process. The only, this is literally the only one thing I had to change is that the color space for device is linear and the phone color space needs to be gamma. So your texture compression and your texture settings are the only things that need to flip-flop a little bit, but it's really not that big of a deal.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Preston, for coming out, doing the demo, answering the questions, and I thank you for sharing your time with us.
Of course, I'll be sticking around. I'll be in the chat if you guys want to, ask me any questions. You can find me anywhere on LinkedIn if you have any other questions or you want to see some behind-the-scenes footage stuff. I'll be around throwing things out
Preston Platt, LinkedIn.
Yeah, perfect. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Talk to you later.
Okay. See you, Preston. Okay. And last but not least, we have Phillip Ruenprom, who is the software product manager of AR, VR, XR at Lenovo, coming up to talk about the ThinkReality platform. So welcome to the virtual stage, Phillip.
Thanks a lot, Patrick. I'm trying to click on present now, and it's not letting me.
It reverted back.
Oh, no. Okay, let me try it again. And
yeah, if we can have Preston stop sharing their presentation, then it would work. There you go.
Great. Let me turn off my camera. And I did have some issues with my device, so I had to switch spots and plug in.
I think now we lost you, Phillip. We cannot hear you. Okay, so we lost Phillip for a moment.
All right. We'll give it just a moment for Phillip to reconnect. Ah, here he is.
I'm sorry. I guess my network wasn't working well.
No,
So
all good.
yeah, no, it's been a struggle as I've been watching the presentations cut in and out for me. So I decided to plug in directly. Hopefully that was going to help it, but I guess I'll go through quickly. Today I'll be talking about the Lenovo ThinkReality platform. The Lenovo ThinkReality platform provides a proven, scalable, and streamlined path from proof of concept to productivity for the enterprise XR applications. It's the only complete solution that lets you focus on problem solving by working across diverse hardware and software. The ThinkReality platform starts off with the ThinkReality Cloud, which offers a highly secure, enterprise-ready, centralized cloud-based management platform for XR devices, and the applications and content that go on the devices, as well as the services, all at a global scale. The ThinkReality Cloud gives you the
Okay. It looks like I see Philip's screen is still there, but he was having some issues with the audio and video. So we'll give him another second to see if he can pop back in. And until then, you gotta stare at my face. Up, Philip's back.
Sorry about that again. I think I got cut off around the device management. And the device management allows you to manage your Lenovo and third-party devices in an easy way. Provisioning devices in groups, configuring settings, and updating content all remotely. For user management, create and manage users easily while viewing and exporting user data for analysis. And for app management, it allows you to upload and manage library of apps and assets, install apps, push updates, and track their progress remotely. On the dashboard, it helps you spot app and file deployment issues in real time, and it helps you gain insight into usage patterns and performance. And lastly, for developers, here you can find development tools like Unity SDK, Visual Studio, and ThinkReality SDK libraries and plugins for OpenXR, as well as Qualcomm Space's development support. Here at Lenovo, we take security seriously. So we perform rigorous security testing at the several different levels, at the code level, the server configuration, activation, production monitoring, and so forth. We're very proud to be star level 1 from the Security Cloud Alliance. My last slide shows you the ThinkReality platform where it talks with the hardware and then it manages with the software. So I've got room for any Q&A. Anybody have any questions that I'd be willing to take right now?
Sure, let's do it. Does anybody have questions in the chat for Philip about the ThinkReality platform? So I guess while we're waiting for some questions. You touched on it, but in terms of like the device compatibility, what are some of the nuances between the various devices that the ThinkReality platform supports if you're a developer, and how easy is it to be able to port your experience from one hardware platform to another? Oh, is the audio? My audio might have cut out again. See Philip's screen. Let's see if I think third time's the charm. All right, Philip.
So sorry about that. So as you were talking about the different devices, so on the ThinkReality platform, we're able to connect to RealWear's HMT1 and their RealWear Navigator. So we're able to manage those devices as well as Android OS tablets and phones. So we're also looking in the future to add in more support for HoloLens 2 and some other devices to be able to manage those devices. So in reality, ThinkReality platform is more of a light MDM management that allows users to be able to manage some of those other devices as well as our own devices.
Great. And what makes the ThinkReality MDM different than some of the other ones on the market?
Well, it's tied into our A3 devices, but it gives the users the opportunity to be.
Ooh, the audio gods are not working in your favor today, Phillip. We'll give it another go. Just a moment here.
Sorry, maybe we got disconnected again.
No, it's okay.
I don't know if you got my answer about that. So
if you could just repeat it, I think it cut out kind of right in the beginning. Oh, we might be out of luck on the audio today. So I guess like maybe the last question then, Phillip, if you're unable to if the audio is not quite working, if the audience wanted to find out more information on the ThinkReality platform, if you're a developer and you wanted to get started developing on it, could you share some resources maybe in the chat for people to be able to access more information on it?
I'll be sure to do that. I do apologize. I don't know why I'm cutting in and out. I've even plugged in directly, so I'm just thinking maybe there's an issue. So I will plug that into the chat. Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, Phillip, and I appreciate it again coming out and presenting today. All right. Well, if you can hear us, Phillip, thank you again. And yeah, so that is our show. So we got a snapshot of the A3 glasses. You got to see it running in action. You got to actually see a demo of it live for the Padres from Preston, and then got a quick peek at the ThinkReality platform, what it can do, and what the devices it's compatible with. And I believe you'll have some access to some more information about the ThinkReality in the chat. So yeah, wanted to thank everybody for coming out, spending their afternoon with us, evenings depending on where you're located, and supporting the community. So I guess just to kind of wrap things up, if you wouldn't mind posting about the show on social, hashtag AWE Nite SF. Also, don't forget to go, if you're in the EU or even in the US, get your tickets for AWE Europe. It's going to be fun. Definitely, can't wait to be in Lisbon this year for it. And keep an eye out for the next shows that we have coming up. There'll be some new ones that we'll be launching, and we'll hopefully get a couple more shows in before the end of the year. So thank you again, everybody, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Adios.